Now this dish is my daughter's absolute favourite dinner, and it is cheap as chips, easy as pie, and it's a great way to get more vegetables in their diet. So this is just a very basic version. We start with one large onion chopped roughly and one leek roughly chopped. So heat up your pot, get it nice and hot. Then we're going to add some olive oil. Now when you're cooking butter, things in butter and oil, the oil stops the butter from burning and turning brown. So I've got our oil in the pan's hot, some butter, everything needs butter. Those two combine together. Now it's important to put your ingredients into a hot pan. That's what starts the caramelisation process and adds the flavour and brings out the flavour of all the vegetables. Sounds exactly the way it should. Okay. So now we're putting in one large chopped onion and one large chopped leek. And if you've got a bit of celery lying around, that's always good to get in there as well. But like I said, this is just the very basic version. Next, we're just going to add a sprig of thyme, 2 cloves of crushed garlic, good for keeping all the colds away. Onions and leeks are high in lysine, which keeps all the nasty cold sores and colds and sinus infections away. And we'll sweat them down until they're nice and soft. Okay, so we can see how they will soften down. They're taking on the butter, and the leeks are collapsing. Now, with our potatoes, we've peeled them and we cut them in half and soaked them in cold water. Now, what this does is it removes a lot of starch out of the potato, and it stops the soup from having that gluey consistency that you get sometimes with potato soup. Now, the best types of potatoes to use are either Desiree or the cream Dutch. So in they go. Now, whenever you're cooking a vegetable that has grown underground, you always cook them in cold water. Okay, now the reason that you cook vegetables that have grown underground in cold water is it makes them cook from the inside out and evenly, and it means that you can always test whether it's cooked properly or not. Now, unless you've gathered your scraps and made a big vegetable stock and frozen it, all you need is some cold water, just to cover it, because you can always thin it out later, but you can't really thicken it, it's a lot harder. And I'm using Vegeta stock. This is the one that I prefer. It's made pretty much just from vegetables. There's no animal products, there's no gluten, and it's as close to the real thing as you get. So it's a teaspoon per half a litre. And again, you can add more later if you want more of that stock flavour. And then all we're going to do for now is bring that to the boil and let those potatoes cook and soften, and then we'll check the consistency. Now our soup's been bubbling away for roughly 20 minutes, and you can tell if the potatoes are cooked simply by squashing one against the side of the pot. Falls apart, we're ready to blitz it. Now if you see the thyme stalk, just grab it out. It won't get blended up, but you've got to get it out at some stage. all the leaves come off. Okay, now we're going to test it for consistency and seasoning. Now you see it's a lovely creamy like texture, not watery, not thick like mashed potato. But if it was a bit thicker, all you have to do is add some more stock. Tiny bit of sea salt. And of course you can blend up some spinach or parsley or other veggies in there if you like. But don't go too crazy because otherwise the kids will notice. Now we're going to serve our soup with some super naughty, super indulgent, plain white bread, salted butter. Doesn't have to be perfect. You'll know those odd cold lumps of butter are a treat. And of course, for tradition's sake, cut them into some soldiers. Running out a little bit of bread. Rustic, beautiful, melted butter. Nice big bowl of soup. And now my daughter likes to sprinkle tasty cheese in there. Let it all go melty and stringy. Like that. Bit of time to garnish, marry the flavours. And there you have it, potato and leek soup.